It is 3:14 a.m. You are sitting on your kitchen floor, the cold linoleum pressing through your worn-out jeans. Your hands aren't shaking yet. That comes later. On the screen of your cheap smartphone, 6 numbers glow back at you. You look at the paper ticket in your hand. You look back at the screen. You do this 7 times, your eyes burning, waiting for the pixels to shift, waiting for the cruel joke to dissolve. But it doesn't. In an instant, the crushing weight of your past, the unpaid utilities, the teeth you couldn't afford to fix, the quiet hum of survival anxiety that has lived in your chest since you were 18, is vaporized. But as the silence of your apartment settles back in, a new cold realization creeps down your spine. You haven't just won $90 million. You have just signed the death warrant of the person you used to be. Level 1. The chemical shock. Day 1 to day 7. The first week is not a celebration. It is a medical emergency. Your brain is not wired to process the sudden removal of scarcity. For your entire life, money was a physical wall. It dictated where you could go, what you could eat, and how long you could sleep. Now that wall has turned to dust. Psychologists call it the sudden wealth syndrome, but that is too clean a term. In reality, it is a chemical overdose of dopamine and cortisol. You cannot sleep. When you close your eyes, your mind races with scenarios of loss. You check your bank app 50 times a day, even though the money hasn't even arrived yet. You begin to realize the first paradox of your new life. The secret is a poison. You want to scream it from your window. You want to call your mother, your childhood friend, the boss who made you feel small for 5 years. But a primal survival instinct whispers in your ear, don't. If you tell them, the world as you know it ends. So you go to work on Monday. You sit at your desk. You listen to your supervisor complain about a late spreadsheet. You look at them, and for the first time in your life, you do not feel fear. You feel a strange, hollow pity. You are already a ghost in your own life. You are physically there, but your mind is already drifting into an orbit they will never reach. Level 2. The silent severing, month 1 to month 3. The check is cashed, the taxes are paid. The remainder sits in private bank accounts, managed by people who wear suits that cost more than your previous annual rent. This is where the severing begins. You are told to set up trusts, LLCs, and blind accounts. The system is designed to hide wealth, but in doing so, it hides you. You stopped being a person with a name, and you started being a risk score. You decide to do what every lottery winner promises they will do. Help the people they love. You pay off your parents' mortgage. You buy your sister a house. You write checks to your closest friends to clear their debts. You expect tears of joy. You expect the relief you once craved. Instead, you get the quiet death of equality. When you hand someone a life-changing sum of money, you think you are giving them freedom. But human psychology is governed by reciprocity. When someone cannot repay a debt, the relationship curdles. Suddenly, your friends don't tease you anymore. They agree with your jokes too quickly. Your family members look at you with a subtle, defensive guilt. Every conversation carries an unsaid subtext. How much is my dignity worth to you today? You didn't mean to, but you have just purchased their subservience, and in doing so, you have lost your equals. From now on, every relationship you have is transactional. You are no longer a friend, a sibling, or a son. You are a lottery ticket. Level 3. The illusion of freedom. Year 1. By the end of the first year, you have bought the dream. The high-end apartment, the European sports car, the clothes that don't have logos but cost thousands of dollars. You fly first class. You eat at restaurants where the menu doesn't print the prices. And this is where you encounter the most terrifying psychological trap of the human mind: hedonic adaptation. The first time you flew private, your heart raced. The leather smelled like a new world. The 10th time you flew private, it was just a bus that took off on time. The luxury that once seemed like a miracle becomes your new baseline. But while your baseline of comfort has skyrocketed, your capacity for joy has remained exactly the same. Hunger at this level isn't physical. It's silent. When you can buy anything, nothing has value. Value is born from sacrifice. The video game you saved up for 3 months to buy when you were 12 gave you weeks of ecstasy because of the scarcity of your resources. Now, if you want something, it appears. And because it appears instantly, It dies instantly in your mind. You find yourself standing in your 8,000 square foot home, surrounded by objects designed by Italian masters, feeling the exact same low-grade existential dread you felt in your studio apartment. Only now you can't blame your unhappiness on your bank account. The final excuse has been stripped away. You are rich, and you are still you. Level 4. The Paranoia Matrix, Year 3. By Year 3, the wolves have smelled the blood. It starts with the lawsuits, a slip and fall on your property that never happened, a business partner who claims you breached an unwritten contract, a distant relative who sues you for emotional distress because you didn't fund their startup. You realize that in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of society, you are no longer a citizen. You are an insurance payout. You begin to develop a hypervigilance that borders on clinical paranoia. When a stranger strikes up a conversation with you at a hotel bar, your first thought isn't, "They seem nice." Your first thought is, "What is their angle? Who sent them? Do they know who I am?" You look at your partner, the one who married you after you won, and you search their eyes for a trace of calculation. You look at your old friends, the ones you tried to keep, and you wonder if their invitations to dinner are genuine, or if they are just setting up another ask. You install cameras. You hire security. You build walls around your house, and then you build walls around your mind. The money was supposed to protect you from the world. Instead, it has forced you to protect yourself from the very people you wanted to share your life with. Level 5. The Death of Desire, Year 5 and beyond. 5 years in, the chaos has settled. The lawsuits have been settled by your lawyers. The freeloaders have been cut out. Your life is quiet now. Terribly, deafeningly quiet. You have reached the final level of the lottery winner's curse, the death of desire. Human beings are teleological creatures. We are built to strive. We need a mountain to climb, a goal to reach, a struggle to define us. Struggle is the friction that creates warmth in the human soul. When you remove all struggle, you remove the friction. You wake up at 11 a.m. There is no boss waiting for you. There is no rent to earn. There is no project that needs your unique mind to survive. You can fly to Tokyo today, or you can stay in bed. It does not matter. The world does not care. Your survival is guaranteed, but your purpose has been completely hollowed out. You realize that capitalism sold you a beautiful lie. It told you that the goal of life was to reach the top of the mountain and rest. But once you are at the top, you realize there is nothing there but cold air and barren rock. The joy was never in the summit. It was in the climb, the sweat, the shared misery of the journey with people who were climbing beside you. By winning the game, you were disqualified from playing it. The outro. So, you sit there, on your kitchen floor, with the ticket that holds the power to destroy everything you have ever known. The system wins. The machine works exactly as it was built. It turns human lives into capital, and capital into isolation. It promises that more is always better, while quietly robbing you of the simple, messy, beautiful connections that make life survivable. But you look down at those 6 numbers anyway. You feel the terror, the loneliness, the inevitable ruin of your future peace. And then, with a slow, trembling hand, you reach for your phone to make the call, because we are human. And the dream of freedom, even when it is a trap, is a poison we will always choose to drink.